Hello, ladies and gentlemen. The next lesson, this is the solving a system of equations again, but now we're talking about day 2, the second step. Second type of equation you might see. Now, when solving it using elimination, or what we call linear combination, both words are the same. The beginning is still the same. You still look, are the equations in standard form? ax plus by is equal to c. As you can tell, both are in that standard form. The next part, putting that line underneath to try to combine the two equations together, is again the same. Right? But I want you to notice something here. On this equation in particular, if we add straight down, 3x plus x is 4x. Y plus y is 2y. 20 plus 12 is 32. Did we eliminate a variable? Obviously no. This presents a problem. You still cannot solve an equation with two types of variables in it. So the whole idea of elimination here hasn't even occurred. So we have an issue here. You're not able to add right now to eliminate a variable. So we need another method. So here's your next rule. If you cannot eliminate a variable by adding straight down, your new rule is to look. Is there a variable that has the same coefficient in front of it? All right, the same number in front of it. And you have that here. The y's. The y's both have the same number, which is a 1 in front of it, the coefficient. If you have this idea, what we're going to do is we're going to change one of the equations. All right? And the way we do this is we're going to multiply the second equation by -1. All right? So with this rule, if you have a coefficient that is the same, we are going to multiply the second equation, the whole equation, by -1. As you look at this, the first equation stays the same. 3x plus y is equal to 20. Now, when we do this, watch what happens. Now, obviously, -1 times x is -x. -1 times y is -y. And 12 times -1 is -12. Remember, multiplying by -1, all you're really doing is just switching the sign of each term. All right? The reason why we're doing this, watch what happens. When this goes from a y to a -y, hopefully you'll notice at this point now, when you add, you can eliminate a variable. We use the second equation to make it easier. You could multiply the first equation by -1 and still get the right answer. It's just for these purposes, it just ends up being easier multiplying the second one. And we just do the same thing every time with this one. So, at this point, we just add straight down. This goes back to our regular step, what we did on the first day. 3x and -x, 2x. Y and a -y, 0. And then 20 and a -12, 8. So, 0 times y is 0, it's gone. You've eliminated y. Now you're just down to 2x plus equals 8. Divide both sides by 2. Your x coordinate is 4. So, we've got that one done. Now let's take a look. We still need to find the y coordinate. Now, when it goes to this, what I highly suggest is using the original equations. So what I would do with this one is I'd probably use the second equation. You can use the first, still get the same answer. But I just know if that's an x, I can just write a 4 plus y is equal to 12. So at this point, I've just got a one-step equation to solve. Adding -4x to both, or -4 to both sides, y is equal to 8. So these two lines, if you were to draw them on a graph, would intersect at the point 4,8. Next one. As you look at this, the same basic idea here. When we look at it, are these in standard form? They are not. So that is the first step. We must put these in the standard form. The first equation is. So the first equation, great. The second equation though, we need the -5x to come first, then the 3y equals 53. So now we can start. So from here, if you try to add straight down, Negative 5x and negative 5x is negative 10x. 7y and 3y give you 10y. You did not eliminate a variable. So, comes our second rule. Is there a variable that has the same coefficient in front? And that's true. We have that here with the negative 5's. So knowing that, we're going to multiply the second equation by negative 1. So the first equation stays the same. The second equation, though, multiplying by negative 1 just means we're going to switch all the signs. So the negative 5x becomes a 5x, the 3y becomes a negative 3y, and the 53 becomes a negative 53. So at this point, now we can add straight down to eliminate a variable. Negative 5x and 5x is 0x. 7y minus 3y is 4y. And 77 minus 53 equals 24. As you notice, we have eliminated x. We are now solving for y. Divide both sides by 4. Y equals 6. So now, we've got y. We still need to find x. So, at this point, substitute it in. Again, it does not matter which one you choose. Just for the heck of it, I'll choose the first one. So I'm going to plug in that 6 in for y. Notice, every single time I draw that line so I know what I'm going to go to. So I got negative 5x plus 7 times y, which is now 6, equals 77. At this point, just solve it. 7 times 6 is 42. Add a negative 42 to both sides, because you're now down to a two-step equation. That's 0. So you get negative 5x is equal to 35. And for this one-step equation, divide both sides by negative 5. X equals negative 7. Alright. If you graph these two lines, they're going to intersect at the point negative 7, 6. Next one. As we look at this one, are they in standard form? Ooh, yes they are. That makes this one much easier. So now we don't have to move anything. They're already in standard form. So now, if we add right now, would we eliminate a variable? 14x here, negative 4y here. Nope. So you go on to your next rule. Is there a variable that has the same coefficient in front? You bet you have that with the y's. These two are the same. So I'm going to put parentheses around that, negative 1, parentheses on this one. The reason why I put those parentheses around both is to make sure that I multiply the whole equation by negative 1. If I don't do that, then I create an unbalanced equation. And we've talked about that before. You must multiply the whole thing out. So, the first equation, 8x minus 2y is equal to 58. Now the second equation, again, multiplying by negative 1 just switches all the signs. So the first one becomes a negative 6x, then positive 2y, and then a negative 40. And now we're going to eliminate a variable. So from here, 8x and a negative 6x is 2x. Negative 2y and 2y gives me 0y. And 58 minus 40 is 18. You've eliminated y. You now have a variable, an equation, with one variable in it. So, at this point, divide both sides by 2. X is equal to 9. So you now have the x coordinate. We still need to find the y coordinate though. So, go back to your original equations. Again, it does not matter which one you choose. I'm going to use the second one. So I'm going to plug that 9 in for x. So 6 times 9 minus 2y is equal to 40. At this point, I go through and I solve. 6 times 9, 54. Right. From there, two-step equation. Add negative 54 to both sides. That's 0, so you get negative 2y is equal to negative 14. Then divide both sides by negative 2. Y equals positive 7. So these two lines would intersect at the point 9, 7. Alright. One last example. Let's give this one a try. So as we look at this, two equations working together, are they in standard form? Ax plus by is equal to c. The answer is definitely yes. These are both in standard form. So from knowing this, we're going to try to add straight down. 10x and 10x is 20x, that doesn't work. Negative 4 and 3 gives me a negative 1y. That is not eliminated variable. We need 0y, not negative 1. So we have to look. Is there a variable that has the same coefficient in front? The answer is yes, the x. So at this point, you'll notice that we can multiply the second equation by negative 1. The first equation is 10x minus 4y equals 6. And in the second one, again, switch all the signs. Negative 10x minus 3y equals a negative 13. So, at this point, add straight down. 10x to negative 10x is 0x. We've eliminated x now. Negative 4y and negative 3y is negative 7y, and negative 13 plus 6 gives you a negative 7. X is now gone. So now we can just solve for y. Divide both sides by negative 7. Negative 7 divided by negative 7 is 1 over here. The same on the other side. So the y coordinate is 1. You still need to find the x coordinate. Choose whichever one you want to plug this into. I'm going to choose the first one. Again, it doesn't matter which one. So 10x minus 4 times y, which is now a 1, equals 6. 10x and negative 4 equals 6. Two-step equation. Add the opposite of negative 4 to both sides. Is 4. That's 0. So you get 10x is equal to 10. Divide both sides by 10. Hey! X is equal to 1. So if you were to graph these two equations, they're going to cross at the point 1, 1. Alright, so that was the last one. The basic idea again is that we're adding a new rule in here. If you can't eliminate it right away, you're going to look to see if there's a variable that has the same coefficient in front. If there is, you'll multiply the second equation by negative 1 to change that sign so that you can eliminate that variable. So to make it 0. Alright. You'll have one more on elimination, dealing with some tougher equations if you want to watch that one. But you guys have a good day. Bye.